Hello everyone. How are you? um, it's another day, and we have to finish the video with the settings, right? So I've been getting very interesting messages. I've been getting very nice questions. First, I'm going to ask that if you have any questions, kindly post them in the group. Don't think that anyone will look at you and be like, oh, why is this person asking such a dumb question, or why is this person saying this? No, we're all here to learn. We're all here to understand things. So if you have any question, if you have anything pressing that you need to know, don't hesitate. Post it in the group. I'll answer it. You never know. That's going to help other people. Remember, this group in a couple of days has already grown to about 100 members. And I haven't even run any ad to invite more people to come into the group. And I'm starting to run ads today. So it's going to be a large group. And I'm going to request that let us not limit ourselves. Let us not forget that whatever we ask is most likely going to help other people as well. All right. So today we're going to look at back-end settings. Oh, and by the way, today I'm going to do two videos. One of them is going to be a very important one, which is why you're doing this store. Because I'll be telling you a story of a friend of mine who lost about $30,000 in running ads, and he almost wanted to give up. But I had to sit down with him and have a session with him, a one-on-one session. And so somehow he has gotten back on track and is doing stuff. So it's very important why you're doing this. But we'll talk about that later on. So let's first get into the settings and get this done with. Okay. So we finished with the which settings did we do yesterday? Online store settings. Okay. So did I talk about the logo? Please get a good designer for a logo. Go to a place like, let's say, Fiverr. They usually have EAs. Go to Fiverr. You'll find people there who will design a logo for you for $5. Okay. All you need is something that looks professional. All right. So get a logo done. If you have it yet, gotten a logo done, and find those people who can say they'll design 2 logos for $5. Yeah, it's one of the best marketplaces because they get everything done. Yeah, I will design 2 professional logos for $5 within 4 hours. Yeah, this is a guy that I've used before. There's another one. Let me see. I think it's called either We Creative or We Something. Chai, I've forgotten. When I get the name, I'll send it to you, okay? But yeah, you can see this. You can sort by reviews. This is relevant. Sort by best selling. So that will then give you only the people who have actually sold the most. So I'll design 2 modern design for you. Blah blah blah. Okay. So that's it. Get a professional logo design. So yesterday we looked at the online setting. So today we are going to go to these settings, the admin settings. And the first place we are going to start from is the general settings. So this is basically just your store name. So you can leave it as is, or you can say blah, blah, blah store. Now, this is just your email that will be seen by Shopify. This is between you and Shopify. If they have to contact you or do anything, this is the email they're going to use. In the event that your customers have to contact you and you have to basically chat with them, talk with them, this is the email they're going to be seeing. Okay, so you might want to choose this email to be something like, let's say support@kumani.com. That's if you have set it up already. Yeah, so that is it. Name of your legal business. Now, this is something that most times people don't have a legal business. So most times you just, for me, most of the times I just use the name of my store. Okay, phone number. All these, you just leave them as is, and instead of using Uganda shillings. Now, this is something that I have to talk to you about, you guys. You see, when you're doing drop shipping, especially when you've chosen to go drop shipping way. I told you there's 2 ways you can do this: free plus shipping, then a product with shipping. Okay. I already talked to you about what free plus shipping is. I already talked to you about product shipping is. But again, there's two things you can still do. You can decide to sell internationally, or you can decide to sell to your local store. All right. So, for example, I have a number of local stores. Yeah. I have a number of local stores that I've already done. And for example, I have a store. I've done a store before on women's hair. That's locally in my country. I've done a store on wedding gowns. I've done a store on bags. I've done a store on shoes. Those are locally, yeah. And they sell, these things go like gangbusters. So if someone chooses to do a local store in their country, then you might want to leave the default currency here as that country's default currency. But if you're choosing to do it internationally, you want to ship to maybe Brazil as well, you want to ship to Indonesia, all these places, it's drop shipping, for goodness sake. So you don't really need to handle any products. Someone comes and buys from, you might promote to people in Brazil, they come, they buy, you pay the supplier sends the product, and blah, blah, blah. So since it's drop shipping, you can ship anywhere in the world, all right? You're not the one producing the product. So if you're doing it as a local store, then this is very important for you to leave the currency as the currency in the local country. But if you're not doing it as a local store, then I would advise you to let it remain as US dollars. Okay? United States dollars. And which is what I usually do, because I'm usually shipping internationally. So when you leave this to kilograms, everything here is good enough for me. So the legal name of the store, I would say that Gumani store. And I would save that. So that part is done. I go back to the settings. Now we want to deal with shipping. Okay. Now remember that the address you put here is the address that is going to be seen by your customers. Okay. So this is the shipping from address. Now, in the event you don't want your customers to see this, and you want them to, for example, see as though your business is in the US, most of the times, if you want to be discreet, most of the times I don't want customers knowing exactly where my location is. So I just want to let them see the business. I just love privacy. Okay. So there's this service. It costs though. Yeah. It costs. But there's, let me see just a second. Email class mail. Okay. There's this service called email class mail. Email class mail. Let me just check it out for you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, give me a second. Let me just check. Yes, it was not email class mail. Sorry, it was Earth class mail. Okay, Earth class mail. So I'll be leaving the details down there. So with Earth class mail, so here's the thing. With Earth class mail, you're going to pay a certain amount of money. Okay, it's many people have been asking me, what if there's returns for the product? So what happens then? Okay, so with Earth class mail, there's the $49 option. It's about $49 a month. Yeah, it's $49 a month. So what will happen is you'll register with them. They'll give you a mailing address, a physical mailing address in the US. Okay. And so when you're writing on your store, you see this virtual business address. Okay. So this is the business address they'll give you. So it will look something. Where is an example? I can't see an example here. But when you've signed up for this, it's I think free for 30 days. Yeah. So when you sign up for this, then when your customers come on your store, instead of them seeing this address as the shipping address, they'll see the address that is given here, the US address. Okay, this is going to cost you $49 a month though, so it's the best. But if you don't really care much about the privacy or anything else, you can leave this as is. There's no problem with that. Then also, when you've gotten this address. Someone was asking me last time, what happens if someone gives back returns? So this is the one, at least I know from my friends and from myself, we've verified that this actually, they help you to get back also returns. They can get returns from you. So that's very good. In the event that a customer has tried the product and they don't like it and things like that, they might say, okay, where can I return the product to? So you can tell them to return it to this address, and those guys will receive it for you. Then most likely you can send it back to the AliExpress guys. Yeah, you can send it back to the AliExpress dropshipper. So that is it. That is it about this Earth class mail. So you're going to need Earth class mail if you don't want to use your store's address. I mean your country's address or your personal address. But in the event that you're okay with this, there's no problem. Go ahead and leave that as is. Then comes to shipping zones. Okay. Now, right out of the bat, most of the times, they are going to leave the default country that you've put there aside as the what? Domestic shipping address. Now again, this is good if your country, the country that you're putting here to do the dropshipping business is for local dropshipping. But if you're looking at the international market, you might want to change this. So most of the times for my stores, you'll come and start editing here first and foremost. Then I'll remove this, okay? And I'll start by selecting a country. So I usually do my United States. Again, remember, I'm doing this as my priority thing because most of the people's markets are going to be in the US. But depending on which country is your primary market, you let this country be the first here, okay? The country that is your primary market should always be the first here. So if, for example, like Tapiwa, who is in Zim, she might want to make South Africa her priority country. So she would add South Africa here. Tapiwa is one of the ladies who is in the group here, okay? So the country that you're going to use as your primary target should be here. So if it's Kenya, you let Kenya be the first here. Then we want to remove all these and start adding. You're coming to weight-based rates, okay? And you add your weight-based rate. So I'll start saying standard shipping 0 to 0. This is going to be for free shipping, okay? So when you leave the weight 0 to 0, that will be for free shipping. So this is the free shipping rate. So that means when you're adding the product later on on your store, you let the weight of that product be 0. Okay. The moment you put the weight at 0, automatically it will be shown as a free shipping product. The product has to go for free shipping. Then you add another standard rate. Now, this other one is going to be for people who are doing free plus shipping, okay? So with free plus shipping, you want to have different rates and you want to have increments of half a kilogram, okay? So we shall do standard shipping again. And we put 0.5 to 0.5. And we'll put, this is not free shipping, we shall put this to maybe $10. Okay, so that's the first. Then we shall add another one. I usually add about 3 or 4. Standard shipping. I told you it's increments of 1 kg to 1 kg. Yeah. Then we'll let this be. We'll add it with an increment of $3. So let's say to $12.99. Okay. Yeah, $12.99. Then I do another standard shipping rate. This will be 1.5 to 1.5. $12.99. I'll put add another $3 to $12.99. So I'll put $14.99. Just $2. Let me say $2. $299, yeah. Then I'll put the last one, standard shipping, 2 kilograms to 2 kilograms. I'll put $17.99. Okay, so I'll leave this at this. I'll leave this like this. So when someone comes on your store, all the products that are free plus shipping, all of them, because you're going to put the price at 0, all of them you put the kilograms to 0.5. Okay, so when someone adds 1 or 2 products, when they add 2 products, it will be 0.5 plus 0.5, which will be 1 kg. So this is the rate they will see. Do you get it? So what we want to do is also to limit how many products a customer can put. Some customers can go crazy and they just put like 100 products or 1,000 products. Then you're going to be losing money, okay? So you want to limit that. There's a plugin, an app I'll be showing you later on that can do that. So when this is done, you just click Save Settings and you finish the settings for your main country, okay? Okay, so now we've added our domestic shipping prices. We're going to do the exact same thing for the rest of the world, all right? So we're going to come here and edit the shipping details for the rest of the world. And so we're going to come back again to weight-based shipping. We're going to delete that. Then we shall add rate. The exact same thing we did earlier on, okay? So standard rate, 0 to 0 for products that we're going to give away, do free shipping for, is this. Now, remember, free shipping is different from free plus shipping. Free shipping means you're charging, for example, $70 on the product and you're giving them free shipping to that particular country. But free plus shipping is you get the product for free, you pay for shipping and handling, okay? So always remember that. Standard shipping. Now let's set our free plus shipping weights. 0.5. We put it at $10, okay? Standard shipping, 1 to 1, $12.99. Standard shipping, 1.5 to 1.5, $14.99. Standard shipping, 2 to 2, $17.99. Now you also want to add one for, say for example, if someone adds stuff and it ends up at like 10 or 20 kilograms or whatever it is, then you can put not express shipping, but we can put priority shipping, and we can say anything above 10 kilograms, 10 kilograms, then you can put one fixed price of say $25. Okay, so that is it. You save. Now we have our shipping for the rest of the world. Now there's one more thing we have to do. Now you see this box package, saved packages thing. Now if you don't edit this, then it's going to mess up with our shipping, okay? So we want to remove this and let it be 0, all right? Then you save. This is very important, the sample box, very important, okay? So now we are done with shipping. Wasn't that easy? So now that we're done with shipping, I don't tamper with files, I don't tamper with this. It comes to taxes. Now with taxes, you might want to consult your own lawyer in your country. I can't tell for you. If you're in the EU, it's different. If you're in Africa here, it's most likely different. I've even never actually spent time on seeing what taxes are these ends. Depending on your country's tax, if you're selling stuff in your country, depending on whether they have these internet taxes and stuff like that, I don't think it will be very necessary in Uganda. I mean, Uganda, Africa, or whatever it is, but I don't know. Talk to your lawyer, whatever it is, and figure out if there's anything that you need to know about taxes, online taxes in your country. Personally, I don't even waste time on that one. Payments, now this is the other important one. So most of the times you want to use PayPal Express checkout, okay? So if you already have a PayPal account, now there's several ways to open a PayPal account and verify it. And again, for those in my inner circle, I'll show you certain ways that you can open PayPal accounts even if you're not in that country, and you verify it actually, and you can use it to receive your monies. But if you're in African countries that already accept PayPal, like Kenya, South Africa, blah, 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 that's easy, okay? So with this, you just have to log into your PayPal. I'm not going to do that right now, but you'll just enter your email here. You click next. If you don't have one, sign up for PayPal. This is like the first. Most of the times, actually, you can just use PayPal Express checkout without even a credit card processor. Okay, that's the beauty of this, because with PayPal Express checkout, even if someone doesn't have a PayPal account, they can still check out with a credit card through PayPal. But most of the times you lose customers because it's a bit confusing. Okay, you lose a few customers, not many though. Yeah. So when it comes to credit cards now, this is the important one. Now you see that most of the cards are not available for Uganda, but you have to check out. Okay. Now, and these other payment processing companies. Now, the only problem I don't like using all these others is because they are a pain. Okay. For some reason, to check out makes life so hard. They don't have very good reviews. They accept actually dropshipping though, but they don't have as good reviews as many of us would have wanted to. Okay. So, yes, they have very high reserve funds, for like very high rates for reserve funds in the event that you have chargebacks and things like that. So I usually don't prefer to check out. I usually prefer Stripe. Okay. Now, if your store is a local store, say you're in Kenya and you're going to sell to Kenyans, okay, dropship to Kenyans, or you're in Nigeria and you're going to dropship to Nigerians, then pick a payment option here that applies to your country, okay, that makes it easy. For example, I can see Skrill here, okay. If you can get Skrill for your country, get Skrill. But for me, most of the times, I'm using Stripe, because when you're going to the international market, Stripe is like the easiest. First of all, they have the fastest and easiest rates of acceptance. The topic about Stripe is totally different, and that's going to be inside the inner circle. But with Stripe, they have very high rates of acceptance, and they're the best credit card processing company. So, but to get Stripe, you're going to need a US bank account. Now, here's something I want us to talk about, me and you, okay? For a second, let's sit down and reason. If you're going to do serious business, you're going to need to register a business in the US. Okay, it's going to cost you about $1,000, but trust me, that will be the best $1,000 you've spent ever, because that is going to give you an employee identification number, and a number that you can use to register on some of these merchant accounts. And some of these merchant accounts, for example, like Stripe, you can even use them in conjunction with say Payoneer. Okay, so it's really, I don't know how much to tell this, but it's very critical. Okay, very critical that you have a Stripe account, because it's going to make payments way too easier. But if you're going to do a local kind of thing, then it's okay. You don't need Stripe. Yeah, you just pick one of the local solutions and you go with those. Okay, so most of the times PayPal will be enough for most people. But most of the times, I recommend having both PayPal and a credit card processing, because I've seen, for example, in the countries I'm targeting, I get a lot of customers who are paying through credit card. Okay, so for me, for the most part, I'm using Stripe, and I already have Stripe account. So for those in the inner circle, I'll show you how to get all these Stripe accounts and things like that. In the event you want one, the service I've used to get my own company registered in the US, have worked around the bank issue and blah, 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 and all things like that. You have to get this right. This year, I went into problems. I almost lost $500,000, over $500,000 of mine that were in an account because I had not taken due diligence on this payment processing in the first place. Okay? I've lost a lot of money also trying to trust other friends to process money for me. So I wouldn't even recommend that unless it's your brother or sister. I wouldn't recommend that. All right. So that's about the payment processing. If you want to add Bitcoin, you can also do that. Alternative additional payment processing. You can pick one of these, Bitcoin, Coinbase, or GoCoin. But most of these again will work well if you already have a business registered in the US. That's when you get the most benefit. Okay. All right. So that's about the payments. Then from the payments now, we go to checkout. Okay. Now, customer accounts, I leave this as default. I get this as well. I usually prefer having them to use their email. Yeah, I prefer having email. Then they can have an additional method to add a phone number, whatever it is. Yeah. I require first and last name. Company, I leave that as hidden. Optional. Shipping address, phone number, I leave that as hidden. I leave this as is. I leave this as is. This I disabled it altogether. After the order has been paid, I leave this as default. Do not automatically do this. Yeah, I leave this as is. Manage checkout language. Mine is in English. If you're doing in another country, that's up to you. Then what we'll do, I'll generate this. You just click generate this. Generate the privacy policy, then generate the terms of service. Okay. Now, when you've generated this, you click save. And you're done with those. Now you want to come back to your online store, open this in a new tab. Then you come to pages, okay? Add new page. You put here terms of service. Now, if you're going to do Facebook ads, you're going to definitely need this. Without this, they won't accept you. Now, this part of additional scripts. Now, again, for the inner circle members, I'm going to give you a script that is going to help you to, it's a code. Instead of using the default Facebook pixel code, I'll give you that code that's used here. That will be very, very helpful. Okay. So don't worry about that. Terms of service, I just copy this, Control C, and come here, Control V, and paste. Then save this. Okay. So you come back to pages, add a new one. You come to privacy policy. Paste it here. Save this. Come back to the page here. Add one, last one, which is about refunds. Paste it here, and there we go. We are done with that. You can view your page here. You see? So it will be like this. Okay. Professional stuff just. Alright. That's it for the settings for that. So when this is done, now I want to come back again to settings. Notifications. Now, if you're using an email service provider, for example, like which is an email service provider that is, let's say Clubview. Then the templates that they've already created in there, you'll just come and change those and add them in here. For example, for abandoned checkout, you can configure it here, and all the others checkout process. You can figure your checkout process to work with Klaviyo, so that when someone abandons the cart, Klaviyo sends them a message automatically and things like that. So with notifications, you're basically just going to edit a few things here and there. The emails that your customer gets when they've made the order, fulfillment and things like that. So most of the times there's nothing much really changed from this. Just leave it as is. When it's order cancelled, you can see the emails how they look like. Unfortunately, these guys do a very bad job, that they have just a bunch of code, but usually you can edit places that have writing in them. Okay, so when you preview the email, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, all right, so that is done. Now we want to do a little bit more of cleaning up on our store. So we want to, so let's see what we've done. So order limits, payments here. So I've already talked about payments. We've basically finished everything here. So I'll be talking about apps shortly. But let's now come and customize themes, because now we want those pages, the other pages of ours, to show on the website. Yeah, the privacy policy and things like that. So we'll come back to the footer here. So when you look at our website, let's just view our website. So currently, this is how our website is looking, but you can see this, it's quick links here. Okay, it's not adding automatically down here. So first we want to come and do this thing. Instead of having this quick links here, we want to look at the menu. Okay, so we're going to look at the footer menu. Okay, so now we've changed this to footer menu. So that means anything we add to the footer menu will technically be added to that section. So instead of quick links, we're now having the footer menu. So let's go to the let's see. So we come to the footer menu, like back to navigation here. Yeah, navigation here. There's the footer menu here, right? So we click on the footer menu, and we add new item. So privacy policy. So we come to pages, privacy policy, add, then add a new, I want to remove this search first. So you can add an about us page, by the way, also. I highly recommend that, so that people can contact you and things like that. So you go back to pages, the other side, add an about us page. That's where people will contact you. You can have refunds, come to pages, refunds, add that. This privacy, there's refunds. Which other pages did we have? But anyway, you get the idea. So you just save here. So when we come back to our page, welcome to Gumani, when you look down at the footer, you see this? So now you have refunds, privacy policy, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's it for this video. Now, lastly, I said I will show you a few themes. So when all this is done, now I want to go to themes. So I mean to the apps that are going to work on my store. So the first app we want to put here is this app for for order limits. Okay, so let's just go and say order limits and search. There's just way too many of them. You can just pick one of these. I'm just showing you whatever other options there is, but most of the times I'm not going to actually waste a lot of time on this. I'll come for this. This is only for 14 days. No. Let me buy popular. There's an app that I've been using. I've even forgotten its name. I'll sit and send it for you guys. But yeah, that you can add the order limit. So let's go with this one for now. Limit max. Just click get app. Install. There's one that has a 30-day trial that I was trying to look for. So I'll leave that at that for now. So I go back to apps. Then the other that I use are the beacketing apps. So you come and search for beacketing. And these guys have some of the best apps there is you'll ever find. Okay. So I come to beacketing and start just installing most of the apps that they have. So I'll install the sales pop. This one will always be showing guys that people are buying and stuff like that. So I like the sales pop. Then there's the countdown timer and blah 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 and all the things. So that's the beacketing. So when you install the first beacketing thing, they'll now give you other apps of theirs. When you click on this window, you see there's this emails thing, boost social traffic, blah blah blah. But then there's actually these ones that you can come, boost sales, mailbot, and personalized recommendation. This, if you want to view all, you can view all here. I'll then install also the countdown, Facebook quick chat, mobile, all this. So beacketing is like they have very good apps actually. Most of the times you'll just end up with beacketing and just forget about the rest. You see what this will do? It will give scarcity. Okay, it helps with scarcity. So this is it. So when you can get started now, then you can come back here, look for other apps. There's personalized recommendation. I use that one as well. Then there's this. So when you hover over them, you'll see there's some that are for free trial. They give you 15 days free trial and stuff like that. So this is it. This is it for some of the apps. Now for most of the other apps that I'm using, I'll be showing them to the inner circle guys as time goes on. But typically these are the apps that I'm using. Okay, beacketing apps. Then this, then upsell apps. Okay, but that's for more advanced apps. So that's it about this video. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you're now ready to set your store going. Carry on. And oh, and I almost forgot, very important for fulfilling this four: add Obelo, add product reviews, add kit, and add order printer. These are four very important. At least you can leave out these two, but add kit and add Obelo, because Obelo is going to be very important in you fulfilling orders. All right. So that is it. Obelo was actually acquired by Shopify of recent, so they're now a part of Shopify. All right, that's it. Blessings and good luck with your store. before I go, we shall start the 90-day challenge in about a week's time. So I want all this store to be done. I want all this part to be done. This is part of the 90-day challenge, but this is like pre-90-day challenge. So I want all this to be done. Then we shall jump on to the 90-day challenge. Remember, only those who have donated are going to participate. Okay? Well, you can participate even without donating, but for those who are going to get my support, my daily support, and looking at their stores, reviewing their stores, giving them ideas, will only be those who've donated. I'm doing that because what I'm giving you guys is stuff that people are paying thousands of dollars for, and I'm doing it for free. And that's because I just love helping. So if you do not want to help me help the girls stay in school, then I don't think I have the time to help you personally. Okay? But in general, you can still benefit from everything else that I'm giving the group. All right? That's it for this video, and all the best with your store. Ciao.